Episode 90 of All the Everything podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Billy Parchman. And as you've noticed today, Tim is not with me today in the studio. Today is actually my solo episode. A couple weeks ago, Tim had his, and it was an amazing episode. So if you haven't watched that already, go check that one out after you watch this one, of course. Uh, because, it is the summer series. This is our shorter 30-minute-ish episodes. And with the summer comes a lot of traveling and different things. And it is our goal every week to have some quality content come your way that you can enjoy. And for the summer, be right around 30 minutes-ish. We're going to play with the ish a little bit. But yeah, so in doing so, with schedules and everything, we decided to do a couple of solo shows for you all. And so there's no better way to do it than just to do it.
Well, there ain't nothing to it but to do it. Are you ready, my friend?
You better believe it. Let's get into all the everything, y'all.
All the everything. 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 Podcast! Welcome to the madness.
Well, welcome to All the Everything podcast. Like I said earlier, my name is Billy Parchman, and I'm your solo host today. I'm usually joined by Tim Sawhook, but today is my solo episode. And so what am I going to be talking about today? Well, that's a great question. And if you know anything about me, you do know that I love nerdy things. This is not a surprise. I'm definitely okay with that. I love what I love. And, whether that's like superheroes, Marvel, I'm literally watching the Marvel universe from the start through the end, trying to catch up before, the new Avengers comes out later in the year. And so right now I think I'm about to finish up Captain America, the first Avenger. So, watch the first couple of Iron Mans, the Incredible Hulk, Thor, and now I'm on that. But I'm talking TV shows. I'm talking Disney Plus shows. I'm talking every movie. Love superheroes. Love it, love it, love it. Superman, DC as well. Gosh, that is my wheelhouse. I mean, if you just kind of look behind me, I know it's kind of blurry or whatever, but I'm like a big kid. it's if you know me, this is not a surprise. But with all the kind of nerdiness, I love Harry Potter as well. We're not really talking about Harry Potter today, but he did kind of lay the foundation of what I do want to talk about. Because if you've ever read the Harry Potter books or watched the movies, you might have thought to yourself, hey, what if I went to Hogwarts? What Hogwarts house would I be in? And they've created personality tests based on your personality and the things that you believe, what house you would be sorted into. And, for me personally, I'm a Gryffindor, but my wife, she's a Hufflepuff. Kind of close a little bit, kind of on the line a little bit with Ravenclaws because she's so smart. But based off her personality, she's a Hufflepuff. And one of the things that I have loved my entire life has been Star Wars since I was a kid. Love Star Wars. And if you know anything about Star Wars, they have, like the Jedi and the Sith, one of the coolest weapons ever, a lightsaber. And when you turn it on, this laser beam comes out as like a sword blade, and it's different colors. And so today, what we're going to be talking about is what would your lightsaber color be based on your personality. So even if you don't love Star Wars or know anything about it, we will break this down and see, if you were in the Star Wars universe and you had a lightsaber, what would your color be? And so this is a personality test episode. We're going to kind of go through different scenarios and different things like that to see what category you would fall into. And so to kind of start the process of this, it's going to get a little history, a foundation of the lightsaber, right? So originally, George Lucas created Star Wars. And in the original movies, there was 3 colors of lightsabers. You had green, you had blue, and you had red. Green and blue were for heroes. Now red Oh, that was for the bad guys. And not just any bad guy. Probably the most incredible bad guy in cinematic history, Darth Vader. And when he turned on his lightsaber, that red blade came out. Oh, crazy. I absolutely love, I can't stress this enough, how much I love like Darth Vader. But as time went on and the lore expanded and more movies started to come out and TV shows and different things, um, when they were making the prequels, Samuel L. Jackson himself, Samuel L. Jackson, one of the highest grossing actors on the planet, came to George Lucas and he was playing Mace Windu, a Jedi Council leader. And he said, "Hey, I wanted to talk to you about my lightsaber." And he's like, "Yeah, you get choose between green and blue." He's like, "What about purple?" He's like, "Whoa, what?" He's like, I would love a purple blade, stand out and be different." And so George thought about it and, yeah, okay, we can do that. And then George goes and makes the lore even more with like the Clone Wars and different Jedi, and there was different colors of lightsabers that came out throughout the timeline. And so as the lore grew, the different Jedis and their personalities inspired what their color of their lightsabers were. Now, this is a little nerdy too. What causes the lightsabers to be different colors? Well, in the Star Wars lore, we have these things called kyber crystals. And if you're watching this on YouTube, I'm holding a couple of kyber crystals in my hand. These are crystals that are different colors that emit that particular color on the lightsaber. Got a blue and a green in my hand right here. Now, if you ever go to Walt Disney World, the Hollywood Studios, or you go to Disneyland and you go back to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge in Batuu, they have this amazing experience called Savi's Workshop. Now, if you make a reservation to go to Savi's, you get to build your own lightsaber. You get to pick a theme. They have a whole plate of different parts that come out, and you take different parts and you put them together, and you can make your own personalized lightsaber. And then at the end of it, they come by with these glowing crystals, and you get to pick what color lightsaber blade that you want to be. And so what would you choose if you got put in that position? Well, today, if you want to choose one that kind of represents you, we're going to break this down. So what colors do we have? So in the modern Star Wars era, we have blue, we have green, we have purple, yellow, white, orange, red, and black. Now, in certain video games and different variations, comic books and different things, there might be some kind of like one-offs, but those are going to be our main ones that we're going to be focusing on today. And starting off with our blue kyber crystals. If you have the personality traits of blue, then you're going to be the protector. Now, the protector, what personality traits would come with that? Well, you are loyal, you're brave, you're selfless, you're dependable, you're courageous, you're protective, you're team first, and you never quit. Kind of going with the different Star Wars Jedis that wielded a blue lightsaber. We have Obi-Wan Kenobi. Hello there. With Anakin Skywalker, originally had a blue lightsaber before he became Darth Vader. You have, if you ever watched Rebels, Ezra had a blue one. And then Princess Leia, when she was training to become a Jedi, she also wielded a blue lightsaber. Well, ask yourself these questions, and if you can answer yes, maybe you might just be blue, okay? Are you the friend that everybody calls when they need help? Are you? Would you jump in front of danger to protect somebody? Do you value loyalty above everything else? Would people describe you as dependable? If they do, you might just be blue. Now, moving on to green. The wise one. Here are some different personality traits for my green lightsaber wielders out there. Are you patient? Are you curious? Are you wise? Are you thoughtful? Are you calm? Hey, maybe you're spiritual. You're a lifelong learner and you're a peacekeeper. Well, if you are, you might be wielding a green lightsaber. Different Jedis that have used green. Master Yoda. Oh, that was terrible. Sorry. Qui-Gon Jinn, Liam Neeson from The Phantom Menace. If he just be like, I will find you. Taken, right? Luke Skywalker, green. Originally, one of my favorite characters, Ahsoka Tano, she had a green one when she was in the Jedi Order. So those are a couple of Jedis, if you know anything about Star Wars lore, that had a green lightsaber, or at least started off with one. Now, some questions you can ask yourself. Hey, would I be green? Well, do you enjoy learning new things? Are you usually the calm one in the group? Do you avoid unnecessary conflict? Oh, that's a good one right there. Do people come to you for advice? If so, hey, you might be green. Now, kind of going back to Samuel L. Mother Jackson. Oh, the purple. Are you the maverick? Ooh, what does that mean? Well, are you confident? Are you fearless? Are you independent? Are you a strong leader? You don't blindly follow the rules, right? So if it doesn't make sense, you're okay with breaking a rule. Do you walk in your own path? And if you are, you might be just like Samuel L. Jackson, who played Mace Windu on Star Wars and had a purple lightsaber. So ask yourself these questions. Do you question authority? Are you comfortable with standing alone? Do people naturally come and follow you and follow your lead? And are you willing to make the unpopular decisions because they're right? If you are, you actually might be a purple lightsaber wielder. Moving on to yellow. I do have a yellow kyber crystal, but it is in one of my lightsabers on the wall, and I just don't feel like taking that all apart because it's a whole process. But if I did, I would hold it up for YouTube right now. If you have a yellow lightsaber, you are the problem solver. That's right. Here are some personality traits of somebody who has a yellow lightsaber. You're practical. You're balanced. You're intelligent. You're prepared. You're observant. You're organized. And you are very reliable. So some of the people in Star Wars that wielded a yellow lightsaber, the Jedi Temple Guards are probably one of the main ones. These warriors that protected the temple, they always had yellow lightsabers. And then more recently, at the very end of the newer sequels, Rey, the main character, she turns on her lightsaber and it's yellow. So some questions to ask yourself about your personality and if you might fall under yellow is, do you make lists for everything? I know a lot of people do. And there might be a lot because, I'm a travel planner. There's probably a lot of yellow travel advisors out there because you love to plan. Are you always prepared? Do you enjoy solving puzzles? Are you the planner of your friend group? Do they come to you? So I have a lot of friends that would fall under yellow. Now moving on to the white kyber crystal. This is an independent kyber crystal. On the Clone Wars, the cartoon about Star Wars and the Clone Wars, like I said earlier, my favorite character is Ahsoka Tano. And now she has her own Disney Plus shows and everything like that. Like, I love Ahsoka. She was Anakin Skywalker's Padawan, and she ends up leaving the Jedi Order over some bull. Oh, don't let me get there. But she leaves and kind of goes on her own. And over time, she gets a new color, which is white. Now, your personality traits, if you have white, Are you authentic? Are you peaceful? Are you independent? Are you honest? Are you true to yourself? And you don't need approval from others. You kind of do your own thing. Like I said, if you are independent and that's one of your main personality traits, you might wield a white lightsaber. Now, moving on to orange. And if you know me, I absolutely love the University of Alabama. I've made this very well documented in life. Um, and as a Bama fan, we do not like the color orange. Just to be fair, Tennessee, Auburn, our two biggest rivals, we don't really care for the color orange. But I will say all this, they have some great personality traits. Are you the explorer? So if you are, you might wield an orange lightsaber. It would be kind of hard for me to actually do that, even though a lot of these things do fall under my personality traits. It's kind of like for me growing up, I loved Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Again, like I said, I'm a big kid, but even as a kid, like I loved I was always Raphael. Now, if you know anything about Raphael, he was the sarcastic, brash one of the group. Now, that's not like me. It's not my personality, but he was my favorite. So I was always Raphael. But if I was honest with myself, I would be more like Leonardo, right? And so I might overlook being an orange lightsaber wielder because I hate the color orange, and that's fine. I'm okay with that. But if you wield the color orange, what are your personality traits? You're adventurous, you're curious, you're creative, you're a risk taker, you're innovative, and you love new experiences. And so they have some great qualities, man. Gosh, they really do. Now, there's not a whole lot of on-screen orange. I think there was a couple of the bad guys in Ahsoka this last season that kind of had more of an orange tint, but it's more like games and one-offs as far as canon characters and stuff like that. But if you would wield an orange lightsaber, you would ask yourself these questions, okay? Do you constantly seek adventure? Do you get bored very easily? Do you love trying new things? I know I do. Are you creative? Try to be. Dang it. Okay. So, do you yield an orange lightsaber? And that brings me on down to one of the most epic colors of kyber crystals and lightsabers, the red. Do you seek power? Now, in Star Wars lore, those that wield the red lightsaber are usually Sith or the bad guys, right? Now, in order to make your other color kyber crystal turn into red, they do something called they bleed the crystal. So they take the evilness, the anger inside of you, and that changes the color to red. And so that's why a lot of the bad guys in the Sith and the anger inside of them, they create these red kyber crystals. So yeah, it comes from an original color. It's not there's not some natural red crystals out there. And if there is some kind of lore somewhere out there that there are, I'm sorry about not knowing that, but that's technically where these come from. Now, the personality traits of a red kyber crystal holder. Do you seek power? Are you ambitious? Are you passionate? Do you have anger inside of you? Do you struggle with control, determination? Some characters, all the bad guys in Star Wars, Darth Vader, Darth Sidious, Darth Maul with his double lightsaber. Oh, that was pretty iconic in The Phantom Menace. Kylo Ren, Count Dooku. And if you don't like Star Wars, I'm sorry, I'm just naming some nerdy names out there for you. But if you do know, those are the wielders of a red kyber crystal. Now, ask yourself these questions. Do you always have to win? Do you hold on to grudges too long? Do you like being in control? And are you willing to sacrifice almost everything to achieve your goals? If you do, you might be on that red side. And then that brings us to the final color that we're going to be talking about today, and that's black. And there's only one in Star Wars, history that has a black blade, and that is the Darksaber. Now, the Darksaber is unique because it belongs to the Mandalorians. And so it usually goes to the leader of the Mandalorians. The Mandalorians, if you've never seen the show or anything, it was this race of warriors, I guess you would say, on their own planet. They wear helmets and have jetpacks and stuff like that. If you ever watch the show or know Baby Yoda, that's the Mandalorian, to kind of get the picture there. But the black kyber crystal represents being a leader. And so, Din Djarin, the Mandalorian, actually wielded it for a little bit, but like Bo-Katan, she was the queen of Mandalore. And then Moff Gideon was the bad guy who stole it and had it, and they got it back from him as well. Just some characters that had wielded the Darksaber and the Black Blade. But if you classify yourself as a leader and you have leadership abilities, you have responsibility, you have a legacy, you have honor, those are some traits that might make you have a black lightsaber blade. And fun note, if you go to Disney as well and you go buy, they sell these kyber crystals in all different colors. But the only way to get a black kyber crystal is you have to buy a red one, and they're in just random ones. You might open up buying a red one and you might get a black one. It's very rare. And every time I go, I buy a new red one. So I've given a lot of these red kyber crystals away because I've been trying to go for a black one, and it failed miserably over the years. But those are the different colors that we're going to be talking about today. And now I kind of want to ask y'all some questions. And these questions and answers, how you answer it, might determine how you rank yourself and what category you fall under. So if someone were to insult your best friend, so keep a tally of your answers. I'm going to tell you what the color would go with these answers. And so just keep a little tally there in the back of your mind, or, just write it down and see which one of these colors would actually win. Okay. So if someone insults your best friend, do you immediately make them regret it? Are you the one that cracks a joke to kind of break the tension? Do you walk away because, hey, this isn't worth it? Do you diffuse the situation with logic? Do you take control of the situation? Do you calm everybody down? Or do you stand up for them immediately? Well, if you stand up for them immediately, you are blue. If you calm everybody down, you're green. If you take control of the situation, you're purple. If you diffuse it with logic, you're yellow. If you walk away because you know what, this is not worth it, you're white. If you just crack a joke to kind of break the tension, that's a point for orange. And if you want to make them regret it, obviously you're red, right? Now, you got lost while traveling. What do you do? Do you protect everybody? Do you kind of stay calm? Do you take charge? Do you go and find a map? Or do you figure it out on your own way? Or you might just, hey, you know what? Let's go explore. Let's take this adventure here. Or do you refuse to admit that you are lost? Well, if you do, that's a point for red. If you just go exploring, you're like, hey, we're going to explore. That's orange. If you want to figure out your own way, that's white. If you go and find a map, that's yellow. If you take charge, that's purple. If you kind of stay calm and cool and collective, hey, that's a point for green. And then if you want to protect everyone, that is blue. All right. So moving on. Oh, you look outside. It's The Walking Dead, y'all. Zombie apocalypse has come Oh, and there's zombies everywhere. What are you going to do? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Well, what's your role going to be, y'all? During a zombie apocalypse, what are you going to do? How are you going to handle this? Are you going to be a protector? Are you going to protect those around you? Well, if you are, that's a point for blue. Are you the medic? Oh, I'm going to be the doctor. I'm going to help. I'm going to do the first aid kit or whatever. You're green. If you're the leader of the pack, you might be purple or black. Okay. If you are the strategist of the group, you're yellow. If you are the lone survivor, you're just going to go out on your own. That's white. If you're going to go scout out everything, that's a point for orange. And if you're the warlord, you have Lucille, you're going to take people and just make them do what you need them to do, you're red. Oh. And then for our last question, which of these quotes sounds the most like you? Okay. If no one else will lead, you know what? I will. That's purple or black. Knowledge is the greatest weapon anyone can possess. That's green. I'll stand behind the people I love no matter what. Blue. Winning is all that matters. Red. Life is meant to be explored. You're an orange. I would rather be myself than what anyone or everyone expects me to be. White. And a good plan beats good luck every single time. You're yellow. Now, here's a very fun segment, our last segment of this show, that I kind of wanted to. It's easy to see yourself in different characters, especially fictional characters, right? And so you can kind of relate, hey, I'm a lot like this person, I'm a lot like this person. And so to help us determine your personality based on fictional characters and what their lightsaber color would be, that's what we're going to go with here. And so I'm going to give you a list. We're going to break down each color and what fictional characters would have that color. And so if you can relate, you might actually be one of these colors as well to kind of help you determine what lightsaber color you have. So for our protectors out there, our blue lightsaber wielders, if you are like Captain America, yes, that's right. If you are like Sam from The Lord of the Rings, the true hero of that story, you might be a blue lightsaber wielder. If you're like Rocky Balboa, I just saw the new preview for the new I Am Rocky movie, the movie about Sylvester Stallone and how he wrote that movie and how he wouldn't let the studios make that movie unless he was actually Rocky and how he had to fight for that and how to do that. Looks great. The kid that's playing Sylvester looks fantastic. Sounds just like him. I don't know who that kid is, but I saw the preview came out yesterday. I can't wait to see that. I love Rocky, but blue. He's definitely a blue. Superman, obviously, blue. Spider-Man, Peter Parker, blue. Ron Weasley. Hiccup from How to Train Your Dragon is a blue lightsaber wielder. How awesome would that be to see a dragon with a lightsaber? Oh my goodness, that would be awesome. Baymax from Big Hero 6, and then obviously Sully from Monsters Incorporated, Optimus Prime. He would be a blue lightsaber wielder as well. Now moving on to our green, our wise ones. Who would have a green lightsaber? Well, glad you asked. Albus Dumbledore. That's right. Absolutely. From Harry Potter, green. Along the same lines. Gandalf, Lord of the Rings. Yep. We have Ted Lasso would absolutely have a green lightsaber. How fun is that? Mr. Miyagi from The Karate Kid. Rafiki from The Lion King. Professor X. Continuing on that trend, Jean-Luc Picard from Star Trek, played by the same Sir Patrick Stewart, who just recently retired from acting. Oh, goodness gracious. Obi-Wan Kenobi obviously had one in the movies, so that's obviously he's green. Splinter from the Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Merlin from The Sword and the Stone. And Aslan from The Chronicles of Narnia. Now, moving on to our Mavericks, our purple lightsaber wielders. Tony Stark, Iron Man. Yes. Han Solo, if he had a lightsaber, it would be purple. Jack Sparrow, Pirates of the Caribbean. I mean, oh, how awesome is that? Indiana Jones. And then you can't have the Maverick category and not have Maverick from Top Gun. Am I right? And since this all was inspired by Samuel L. Jackson, why not have Nick Fury from Marvel and MCU comic books? Definitely would have a purple lightsaber. Leslie Knope from Parks and Rec. I love that show. Definitely. James Bond. Miranda Presley from The Devil Wears Prada. Would you think she would be the Maverick? I mean, yes, she has qualities, but she also kind of tends to kind of be on that red, y'all. I'm not going to lie. Ooh, so there you go. That's our Mavericks, our purple lightsaber wielders. Now, moving on to yellow, our strategist. There we go. Hermione Granger, Batman, Sherlock Holmes, Shuri from Black Panther. Yes, absolutely. Velma from Scooby Doo. Did you know that Dwight Schrute from The Office would have a yellow lightsaber? I don't know if I would trust him with a lightsaber, but love him or hate him, he had a plan for everything. Bruce Banner, the Hulk, Reed Richards, Spock, Star Trek. They all would wield yellow lightsabers. Now, moving on to our independent characters, our ones that would wield a white lightsaber. Obviously, the first person that should come to mind, Elsa, 100%, right? From Frozen, Elsa. Then we have Katniss Everdeen from The Hunger Games. Yeah, that's great. Moana, Wolverine. He always loved being on his own. Aragon from Lord of the Rings. John Wick. Oh my gosh, John Wick. We did the John Wick experience at Area 15 in Las Vegas last time we went out there. It was incredible. It's kind of like this very interactive uh, escape room. I guess you don't really escape. It's kind of from scene to scene. But we're going to take the girls during spring break to Vegas, and I cannot wait to see Chloe and how she interacts with John Wick and like shooting the bullets and stuff. Oh, it's gonna be kind of, she's gonna be mad at me, but it's gonna be hilarious. Din Djarin, I know he wielded the Darksaber for a while, but personality wise, definitely Pocahontas as well. She would have a white lightsaber. Now, for our explorers, our orange colored lightsaber wielders, Flynn Rider from Tangled with a smolder, right? One of my favorite Marvel characters ever, and I actually have his portrait right behind me here or to the side of me, Peter Quill, Star-Lord. Dora the Explorer. Oh my gosh, if she had a lightsaber, that would be crazy. Now, moving to up, you got Carl Fredricksen and Russell both would have orange lightsabers. Laura Croft, Bilbo Baggins, Sonic the Hedgehog, all orange explorer lightsaber wielders. Now, moving on to our ambitious folks that wield the red lightsaber, kind of like Darth Vader. Lord Voldemort would definitely have a light. Oh my goodness, can you imagine Voldemort with a lightsaber? That would not be good. Thanos, Magneto from the X-Men, Loki, especially early Loki, he would definitely have a red lightsaber. Scar from The Lion King, Jafar, Syndrome from The Incredibles, yeah, absolutely. Cersei Lannister from Game of Thrones, and then Homelander from The Boys would absolutely have a red lightsaber. And for our last category, for those that are more the leaders that would wield a black, Darksaber or black blade on a lightsaber, Aragon from Lord of the Rings, King T'Challa, the Black Panther, Mufasa from The Lion King, King Leonidas from 300. I remember going to see that movie in theaters. It was crazy. This is Sparta. Along the same lines, Maximus from The Gladiator, Russell Crowe, absolutely. And then to end, William Wallace from Braveheart. I remember watching that movie when we were younger with my sister. I've never seen her cry so much, like just could not breathe, sobbing, like deep sobbing when we watched Braveheart. That's like a core memory of mine. But those all would be black lightsaber wielders, the leaders, I guess. And so what category would you fall under? We kind of broke it down. We asked questions. What color would your lightsaber be? I would love to know. We're going to have this posted on social. Please comment on that. I want to know what your color would be. I also want to thank y'all for joining me on this adventure today. This has been super fun. I'm glad I got to nerd out with you all. If you haven't already, follow us on Facebook, on YouTube. We're on Instagram and TikTok. We'd love for you to follow us on all the socials. Leave us a 5-star written review on Apple Podcasts. That's going to be the biggest compliment you could ever give us and help us out the most. Help us get our podcast out to the peoples. That's our goal. I love y'all. Thank y'all for joining me today on this amazing episode of All the Everything Podcast. We can't wait to see you next week. And bye, y'all.